This episode of FilmRiot is brought to you by Domain.com. Today on FilmRiot, we're jumping into more cinematography talk, and we're going to see who won the skydiving challenge. Welcome to FilmRiot, the show that takes the mystery out of the effects and techniques to go into some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley, and I think this is the fourth episode on the topic lighting so far, I think. It's either the fourth of this, and this is the second one where we're really starting to get into the basics of cinematography. And today we're going to cover some more delicious tips, starting out with setting up a shot where your actor moves around inside the scene, and then later, how the angle of your light will completely change the feel of your shot. So, before I give a breakdown, let's do some before and after action. Here is Josh walking through a hallway over to a couch where Bruno is. Then they exchange a few lines. Then he heads over to the sink area. And as you can see, this is ridiculously dark and totally unusable. And right now, I have my iris wide open and the ISO as high as I can get it before the image is going to start getting really noisy. So we'll need to start introducing some lights into our scene. Now, in a perfect world, you would have tons of lights to work with, as well as flag scrims, a bounce board, and so on. But we're limited by what we have, so it's a matter of using every light as strategically as possible while still hiding it from the camera's view. To start setting my lights, I will first determine the blocking, which we've already shown a few seconds ago. Blocking is the movement in the scene. So with this scene, where Josh walks to the couch and the sink, this is my blocking. And as a cinematographer, you need to make sure that you know the blocking of your scene before you light the set, because you need to know the key marks of your actors, the marks that they're going to be hitting. For this setup, my actors have two main marks, the couch and the sink. So I will light those two areas and then basically fill in everything else. So to start it off, I will add my fill to bring up the overall light in the room. And for this, thankfully, we have a two-story house, so I can take some lights and put them up top, then have one facing towards the sink area, and then the other one, which will be a LED panel, and this will fill in the couch area. Then I'm going to add another fill light for this area here where Josh is passing. There's a ceiling here, so my other lights aren't getting to him, so I'm going to take a 1K, hide it behind the bar, and bounce it off the floor. This will give a nice bottom light, which will be a lot different looking than the other areas, which is nice. I'll also be able to use it as a key light for when Josh is on the couch, since the light is bouncing in that direction. So this light is really pulling double duty. A fill light for this area here, and then a key light for when Josh is on the couch. And that is basically how we're going to treat most of the lights here, trying to get them to do as many jobs as possible. So there's a few lights that we have doing multiple jobs if we can manage it, since we only have just those few lights to work with. Now, to finish the couch area off, I will add one more light, which will be a can light, just off frame, wrapped in black wrap, so that I'm not getting any spill from this light on the wall behind them. But now my couch area is set. I have a can light adding a light accent or backlight, and a 1K bounce off the floor as Josh's key. And the beauty of this shot is that if I wanted to, I could get a reverse angle of Bruno without having to change his thing, since on Bruno, the can light is acting as his key and the 1K as his backlight. But I don't want, so I won't. But thinking like this will be very helpful if you need to get a lot of angles in very little time. So if you know where all your shots are going to be, you can set up your scenes and leave it. Finally, I have my sink mark. And for this, I wanted to light both Bruno and Josh, since I pan around to them both. So much like the can light on the couch, I will take one light and make it be both Josh's backlight and Bruno's key light. For this one, I'm going to use another one of my LEDs, which I will throw on a C-stand so that I can use the arm to place it over Josh without seeing the stand and camera. Of course, since my LED is daylight balanced, you can see here that I've slapped some CTO on it, but now we have a good key light for Bruno and a solid backlight for Josh, but we still need some light on the front of Josh's face. For this, I will take another one of my flow light LED panels and hide it on the counter in front of him. Since it's so small and doesn't get hot, it's not an issue. And another reason why I freaking love these little beauties. But now I have Josh set up with a backlight and a key, and the same for Bruno. So now if we put it side by side with the original, keeping in mind that no camera settings were changed at all, just the lighting, we now have a wide range of movement so that we can knock out a bunch of setups without having to change the lighting. Good lovin'. Good lovin'. But that is the basics of what you can do to cover a lot of ground with only a couple of lights. The main idea here is to add fill to your scene to bring up the overall exposure of the room to your liking, and then finesse the main marks your actors are going to stop on. Now, if that isn't possible, say you have an actor walking around a hall or up some stairs and you don't have anywhere that you can hide a light, you could always just boom the light for your actor. Take this for example. We have Eris walking with windows in the back, so Eris is backlit and very underexposed in the front, but the way that this shot is set up, there is no way to hide any light. So how do you turn this into this? All I did was to take my LED panel, throw it on a light stand, and then had Josh boom it over Eris as we walked together like so. That's it. You have to make sure to keep the light off the walls as much as possible so it doesn't become obvious that the light is moving, but it is a pretty simple and effective technique. I actually used this until when Todd was walking up the stairs. I like this. So there you have it. But now it's time to see the winner of the skydiving challenge. I gave you guys 2 weeks to download the skydiving ad with no effects on it, then upload a version of your own. There were tons of great ones, but we had to choose one, and this one had me laughing the most.
Yeah, that's great, Jerry. Now all we need is a domain name and web hosting. No. Yeah, I agree. We definitely need something
Hey Josh,
good.
this is you, buddy. It's jumping time.
Hey, listen, J-Bear, I gotta jump. Yeah, I'll call you when I hit the ground. All right.
I'm like an untalented bird!
Hey Bruno, can you get that hatch? Bruno? Oh well, Josh. We left you, buddy. Hey Ryan. Yeah, this is ECAT. Leaving you a message. Told me all the crew positions for FilmRiot was taken, but if anything opens up, you give me a call. Talk to you later, baby. ECAT. Alright. FilmRiot, here I come.
Hey guy! You don't have a parachute! Oh yeah! Don't worry about that! Like I was saying, I overheard you saying that you need a new domain name and web hosting! It sounds to me like you need domain.com! Okay! Hey, man! Listen, you're gonna die! We have to think quick! With domain.com, you can get a new domain name and web hosting without the hassle! How would you like a new domain discovery system that helps you pick the right name for your business? That sounds great, actually! Well, domain.com has just that! You put your name in, and if it isn't available, domain.com will give you buttloads of options so you can pick the right one! Wow! It's like a digital domain name expert! Exactly! And if you want 50% off your new domain name and web hosting, just put in the promo code FilmRiot at checkout! Domain.com is amazing! It's like a parachute! Not using domain.com must be like not having a parachute! Scary and doomed! I wouldn't know! What? Ah!
Get a girlfriend!
No!
Get a girlfriend with
There's no
domain.com!
girl.
So there you go, congrats to the winner. You have a signed tell script coming your way, good sir. And great job again to everyone. It was a lot of fun to see all the different versions, some really funny stuff, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna do something like this again pretty soon.
Logo.
Okay, so we have a few more weeks of cinematography left, including some more setups, some camera movements, and color correction. But before we move on, I wanted to give you a look and start your brain a-turning on something very important to lighting setups, and that is the angle of your light. So real quick, we're going to run through a few examples for you to log into your brain cabinet. First is a top light or topper, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a light placed directly over your actor, and as you can see, we get deep shadows over the eyes with this, which could be used to make a character seem more mysterious or dangerous. It's also a favorite for most interrogation scenes. You can also pull the light away a bit from the actor so that it's still high and you're getting the similar effect, but it's not as extreme. Next, we move on to the complete opposite, which is a bottom light. Here I have my light directly under my actor. It creates a pretty undesirable effect for me, though one that does look very sinister and can make for some good effects with the addition of a fill light from above the actor, but as is, it's a very strange look. It could be good for some specific things, but I've rarely used it. Next, I'm going to move my light to the side of my actor for more of a Rembrandt light. Now, this term's used mostly in photography, but it's still applicable here. I have my light to the side of the actor, as you can see, to the point to where the light that we're getting on the opposite side of his face is really just on his eye, and usually a little triangle of light on the cheek thanks to the shadow of his nose. This is a great one for real dramatic looks. Now you can make the shot more or less dramatic by moving it further to the side or more to the front. The more frontal, the less contrast on the face. This is also usually a position that you'll get for like an interview setup as well. So you can see there that it's not just the type of light, but the angle you use it at. And there's so many things that go into setting up a good shot, and I'm hoping that when we're finally done with this lighting series that I will have given you enough ideas for you to go crazy with some good lighting setups of your own. But before we finish up this episode, one last thing. I had a few messages on Facebook asking, what if I don't have any lights at all? Well, to that I say use a free light, meaning the sun. Grab yourself something that you can use as a bounce, like tin foil, a white sheet, or cardstock, and shoot your scene outside. Here's a quick example I shot, and right now without the bounce it's looking pretty bad, but once we throw the bounce in there, we have a great shot. No lights needed. Plus, with all that sunlight bursting through your scene, you will usually end up with better quality as well. So with most of these digital cameras, more light means more detail, which means a much, much cleaner image.
Logo.
So that's it. Next week, we're gonna go through some more lighting setups, and if you have a specific lighting style that you would like to see us explore, shoot it over to me at Twitter, twitter.com/Ryan_Conley, and I'll see you guys next week when I join the rabbits.